Hello, welcome to Perfume. I'm Emily, here again with Twixie, Wonder Dog. Today I'm going to cover my designer perfume collection. I did this in 2020, pretty close to when I first started the channel, and I'll link that below. But I wanted to update, working my way through my perfume collection, and to make it a little more interesting for me, I sorted them by season, or tried to, just to see kind of how they break down. Now, my designer perfume collection is more about breadth than depth. I guess there's a lot of different designers and not a lot of any one particular designer. I think I have the most of Dolce & Gabbana. I've got like 4 of those, and then I have 4 Elie Saabs, if I count this little small thing that I have. But the rest of them I've got 1 or 2. Yeah, and anyway, I'll just get into it. So most of them I felt were pretty clearly, like, I was able to slot them into a season approximately. But there were a few that I was like, this probably, I would consider this all year round, and just, modify the amount that you'd use, using less in the summer and more in the winter. But we're in the summer right now. I think I'll start with spring, I guess I'll start with spring. It makes sense, it's the beginning of the year. So my spring designer perfume collection, and I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on each one of these because I've covered them in other videos, and you can check those out if you want to. I just don't want to sound like a broken record. But springtime, Versace. I've got 2 Versaces in my collection, and I think they're both kind of springtimey. This is the Bright Crystal Absolute, which I prefer to the regular Bright Crystal because the longevity is a bit better, and it's a little softer to my nose than the regular Bright Crystal. So Bright Crystal Absolute by Versace is one. I have another Versace that I think this is a daytime fragrance. I think of it as a daytime fragrance more than a like spring or summer or seasonal fragrance. I think this is good for both spring and summer, but I guess I would lean it a little bit more towards spring if I had to choose. So that's Vanitas by Versace, which has got some tea. I get the tea. It's very light. Oh, like it has a defective bottle kind of though. Forget about that. It's not. I put on a bunch of perfume before this video, so let's recap. Yeah, it's very like, there's a lot of alcohol in the beginning. Sorry. It's just very like unoffensive, kind of pleasant, a little bit like uplifting, definitely light, definitely like a light tea, not an intense tea, but I think there's some freesia in there. Just a nice light tea floral for spring. Now, this I consider a very solidly spring fragrance. This is my Marc Jacobs Decadence Oh So Decadent. And this is a pear. I think of this as like a pear heavy floral fragrance, but mostly pear. Now, I just got a new Britney Spears fragrance, Curious, her first release from 2004. Excuse me. Sorry. Oh, my eye. And this, to me, Curious by Britney Spears, which is a very inexpensive celebrity fragrance. It's sort of like a cheaper version of this. This is, I compared them side by side. I thought this was a little bit more kind of smooth and not, the pear was a little bit more like well balanced with the florals in it. The Britney Spears fragrance is a little more pear and a little more like a tart or crisp pear forward, and it doesn't last as long. Like I think the performance on it is actually pretty decent. It's probably like 3 or 4 hours, and this one's probably 5 to 7 hours. And this is very springy pear floral. Marc Jacobs Decadence. Oh, so decadent. It's a cool bottle. And then this one. I feel like I need to wear this one more. I really like it. It's Addict, Dior Addict, the Eau de Toilette. And I know everybody is gaga for the regular Dior Addict, but I prefer the Eau de Toilette. It's much lighter. It's got a lot of orange blossom. It smells really good. I mixed this morning. I sprayed a little bit on my knee with some Alien. I thought it was a nice combination, actually. A spray of Alien and a spray of Dior Addict. So Alien Addict mixture was nice. And I would say this is kind of a springy, early summer fragrance by Dior Addict. And one of my newest and most favorite, maybe my favorite spring fragrance in my collection, designer, is the Soleil Niche by Tom Ford. Now, this is an addictive white floral, but I don't think of it as a white floral. I think of it as just kind of a unique, I don't even think of it as floral as much as just different. Like, it, to me, it smells a little bit like cola, which is not in a bad way, but it just has that sort of a vibe to me. But it's like got this acacia tree proprietary note that I don't think any other fragrance I've ever smelled has, and I really like it. I think it's very intoxicating. Yeah, one of my favorite, maybe my favorite spring designer fragrance in my collection, Soleil Niche by Tom Ford. And then I've got some that I think are kind of not summery. I guess they're more springy still, but I do think of this as a daytime fragrance before I think of it as a seasonal fragrance. This is the Acqua di Gioia by Giorgio Armani, and just a slightly unisex, I guess it would be, maybe unisex leaning feminine. It's really refreshing. It's really like got a mint note in there that I love. I wish it had a little more mint. I think I've had a like complaint session about how I got the mini and it spelled differently than this one, but it's grown on me. I've kind of acclimated to how this one smells now, so I don't have that sort of disappointment when I smell it at this point. Really nice, crisp, fresh Giorgio Armani, Acqua di Gioia. And then I have a Jimmy Choo Blossom. Now this is very peony heavy. It's a nice kind of light fruity floral with decent longevity. It dries down to just a floral that's a little bit musky to my nose. I just put some on today actually. And it's already gone. It's pretty low longevity. I'm gonna give it 2.5 hours, I think. So not a commitment, which means I actually might finish it someday. And I just have to keep thinking about it. But it is, yeah, peony. If you like peony, and like kind of a fruity peony, this is a good one. Jimmy Choo Blossom. Now this one, I was like, I think I have an association with it on Mother's Day, late May. But I feel like Alien is one you can wear in any season if you apply it correctly, applying more in the winter and less in the summer, and you just need like a spray or 2 in the summertime and maybe 3 to 5 in the winter time, depending on how cold it was. And Alien by Mugler is a lovely, unique jasmine fragrance that has a little bit of woods in it. It's just one of those sort of addictive, unique, very, very popular Mugler, Alien. Now, this one, I wasn't sure where to put it because to me it doesn't, it's also one similar to Alien where it can go in any season, but this is really a man's cologne. And so, excuse me, I don't usually wear it out. I'll usually wear it in if I'm feeling like I want to smell it because I love it and I love the way it smells. Or if a guy comes to visit, like my stepdad was here and I was like, you should try my Chanel Egoiste, and he really liked it, so that was fun. But yeah, definitely masculine fragrance. I think it smells a lot like Eternity, the Calvin Klein for men. Platinum Egoiste by Chanel. And I guess, I mean, if I had to put it in a season, I would say maybe spring or summer, but I think again, this is like kind of universal. You can wear it anytime, really. Platinum Egoiste by Chanel. Now, my summertime fragrances is what I'm kind of hitting harder lately and I'll be reaching for. One is Dolce & Gabbana L'Imperatrice. Now this, I've sort of slowed down on using. Some of these fragrances I feel like I'll have in my collection for the rest of my life if they don't go bad, or if they go bad, then I'll have them until they go bad. But like, it's one where I like it a lot. I think it's a nice like watermelon fragrance. Yeah, it's really pretty, really beautiful, but it can be a bit, I don't know, sweet for me, I guess. So I have to be in this real sweet mood to wear it. But it is really nice. Dolce & Gabbana L'Imperatrice. Fruity, light watermelony, slightly floral fragrance. Now classic Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Intense. Oh, Intense. Classic. Everybody seems like probably has smelled this fragrance or knows about it. It's incredibly popular. It is fairly low longevity. It's a really good summer perfume because it is very like lemon, green apple, and some woods that make it like a light and just really nice for hot weather. So in the summertime, this is an easy reach. I also have the regular light blue, and I actually prefer this scent before the Oh Intense. So I'm probably gonna go through this a little bit quicker. I think you can see the difference in the use so far. Gotten a little bit more worked my way down a little bit more on that one. And then, excuse me, this Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Sun is my favorite of all three of them. And it's very similar. I like that it's almost the same fragrance, but there is a bit more of a floral component. Maybe it's freesia, maybe it's, oh, frangipani? Maybe there's frangipani in this. Yeah, I think that might be it. I'll put the notes up. And it is just really a lovely kind of departure from the other two. I think it also performs a little better than both of the original light blues, although I could just be imagining it because I prefer the scent a little bit. And this is newer, so I haven't gotten quite as far, but I am reaching for this probably the most of the three right now. It's very nice. And this is fairly new to my collection. I haven't worn it a lot. It really does remind me of a candy from my youth. Like a very, not heavy, but very sweet, light. This might also have frangipani, and I think I went on a frangipani kick where I was like, anything with frangipani is going in my cart. I'll put the notes up because I don't remember. But to me, it's got this kind of like Smarties. I think it's Smarties that it smells like. That candy. Nostalgic. Pretty light, summery Elisab fragrance. Elisab Le Perfume Resort Collection. Now I get into the more, I guess what I consider like late summer fragrances. I think for me, patchouli is a little heavy for the summer months. Like it's just either a cool summer night, I think you can get away with some patchouli, or late summer when it starts to cool down. Early fall is to me when I start to reach for my patchouli fragrances a little bit more. Now that would, I guess these two are kind of late summer. I think of this chocolate orange fragrance. It's like a chocolate dipped mandarin. It's delicious. This is a fragrance that you could eat. Makes you hungry, makes you want to lick somebody. If you have this on your dog, will probably come over and lick you because they're like, that smells good. I want this food. It's mandarin chocolate deliciousness. That's the scent, Private Accord. Hugo Boss, the scent, Private Accord for her. And then I have the eau de toilette of the, what is this? Angel Muse, that's what it is. Angel Muse eau de toilette. I like both the eau de toilette and the eau de parfum, but this one is lighter and more of like, to me, a late summer type, summer night type fragrance. I'm just wearing this to like a party in August. Very specific. Smells good. Trixie and I just went for a big long walk at the park, and she punked out every other dog, and she would see these cute little dogs, and I would go up and I just know she's gonna flex on them. But I want her to like be social. It's bad. So I don't know. I feel like if she was off leash, she wouldn't be so fighty. I don't know. But of course, she never hurts anybody. She's just a little punk. All right, so another like late night summer fragrance that I love is this Lancome. Why am I like blanking on the names of things? It's ridiculous. The Lancome. Oh my God, La Nuit Trésor. Bad, that's bad. Yeah, La Nuit Trésor. Caramel, like patchouli, and some fruits. I think of this as a little intoxicating. I also think of it as a going out fragrance. Like if I'm dressing up on a warm summer night, this might be a good go to the club kind of fragrance. La Nuit Trésor by Lancome. And this one, I also think of this as a all year round fragrance, and I love it. This is my first designer, well, my first like fragrance. I bought it blindly because oh my gosh, it's Gucci 2 Eau de Parfum, Gucci Eau de Parfum 2, that's what it is, but I believe it's discontinued. Sorry, this was a Kathleen Light's favorite. This was like her very favorite fragrance, and she is very passionate about fragrance, and so I was like, well, if it's that good, I gotta see what it's all about, which is I blind buy, and I still just adore it. I think it's unique, it's cool, it's got a slight spiciness, a black currant note, cassis. It's bad, I never remember. But it is, I think of it as like a garden, but it's not floral to me. It's more like just interesting, slightly spicy. Deliciousness, beautiful. Gucci 2. And then I get into my like fall, winter fragrances, designer fragrances. Now, I gotta say, in the fall and winter, I don't reach for my designer fragrances as much as I reach for some of my other fragrances. Like, I have certain favorites in the fall and winter that I'm hitting before. So a lot of these winter designer fragrances aren't getting that much love, and a lot of them are actually very early purchases that when I started collecting, you know, they were like pop hits, kind of like things that were very, well, not all of them, but a lot of them, you'll see. So this is Elisab Le Parfum Intense. I would say this is cool weather, like nighttime, very sexy, patchouli, orange blossom. Very like beautiful and come hither kind of but classy fragrance by Elie the Perfume, the Intense. I also have this Le Parfum Intense in white, which is again just a beautiful, got red berries. It's, I guess, sort of similar to the Elie Le Parfum Intense, but a lighter version, still with some patchouli, and then the berries on the top just lighten it up a bit. This is my favorite Elie that I have, and I have 4. Elie Le Parfum in white, deliciously yummy patchouli goodness. And another, like, I think of it as a fall winter fragrance. I really think of this as a fall fragrance, I guess, but it can be good in winter too. It's the Jimmy Choo by Jimmy Choo. Caramel or toffee, patchouli, some fruits. It's kind of nostalgic. I don't wear it very often, but I did for when I first was collecting perfumes. I wore it a lot more. It's very light. This is Soki London, who has an encyclopedic knowledge of fragrances. This is a favorite of hers, and also just a really nice all-around kind of spring fragrance, or fall fragrance, sorry. Giorgio Armani C was another one I picked up on Kathleen Light's sort of recommendation, and I gotta be honest, I think I will have this in my collection for the rest of my life because you really don't need much. For one, you only need like a few sprays of it to get pretty good longevity. I mean, it's a quality fragrance. I think it's good, but it's not what I think of very often. It maybe just kind of gets forgotten about. So I might reach for this like a couple times a year, usually in the nighttime. And I like the C Fiori best. I think of the ones, I don't have it in my collection, but of the ones I've smelled, that one is my favorite. This is Giorgio Armani C. This is my second Giorgio Armani, I guess, besides Acqua di Gioia. And I have, these are also like, I guess this is a fall fragrance. I do think it's better in cold weather because of how intensely sweet it is with the honey notes. Honey note, kind of a waxy, almost beeswaxy thing happening too. Very pretty, but it's very specific. Like, I think this is a seductive fragrance that you would want to wear in cool weather, maybe, you know, trying to seduce somebody in the fall. Scandale by Jean-Paul Gaultier, classic. So you can see like pop hits, you know. This one, this is the Christian Dior Poison Girl EDP, and I wish I had the EDT. It's nice. It's got like a almond, like a soft, powdery almond to me, but I do find that I really don't need much. I mean, this is a very, to me, it can be overwhelming if you put too much on, so I go pretty light with this, spray just a couple sprays, and then I can enjoy it. But I do wish I had the EDT because I've just heard people who have both prefer that one, and I'm not sure if I've ever smelled it, but I can see how, because of what I perceive of as sort of a heaviness to this, that it'd be cool to have that instead. It's the Poison Girl by Christian Dior EDP. And then one that I guess is definitely, to my nose, a fall fragrance is the Givenchy. This is one of my newest designer fragrances. It's Organza Indecence by Givenchy. It's my only Givenchy fragrance. And it's so fall-y because it's got a cinnamon note in it. It smells like potpourri. It really does. To me, it's like I go right to like gift shop in rural Michigan. But that potpourri scent is only in the opening when cinnamon note is the most pronounced, and then as that sort of fades, it becomes a little bit more gourmand. It's really nice. Yeah, nice. It's fall, maybe even like Thanksgiving-y. Cinnamony goodness. That's Organza Indecent by Givenchy. And my winter stuff. Now this is one I have to admit is not getting used very much at all. It's not that I don't like it, it's that it's sort of underwhelming to me in terms of its like uniqueness. It's a woody, it's pretty. And for winter, I think it is nice. A nice, like, it's a nice woody but feminine-ish woody fragrance, which is something I like. I could probably get into this more if I put my mind to it. I think I just need to, you know, say it's when the season comes, pull it out and make it more visible so that I can get through it a little bit more. That is the Michael Kors Shimmer, Midnight Shimmer. Michael Kors Midnight Shimmer. And then these last few, this is, I don't know, I probably didn't need to put a mini in there, but I keep all of these Elie Saabs together. So this is one that is Essence number 3 Amber by Elie Saab. This is a very like amber fragrance, just serious amber. So if you wanted to amber anything up, you could layer it with this. Or if you just needed amber, you could use this fragrance. I don't think I will buy the large one. I'm not sure I will go through this one. I'm not the biggest fan of amber. This is definitely my least favorite Elie Saab, but it is in my designer collection. So yes, Essence number 3 Amber by Elie Saab. And then my most solidly winter, what I perceive as my most solidly winter fragrances are the Tom Ford Black Orchid. Classic, kind of like a chocolatey, spicy, jasmine-y, maybe some patchouli. Just kind of a interesting, deep, rich, complex, storied, iconic Tom Ford fragrance, Black Orchid. And then this one, lastly, finally, it's a long video, sorry, is this Lancome. Oh my gosh, my memory today is really not good. You guys probably all know what this is already. Why does it not say the name of things? And it's so small, it makes my eyes go, Oud Bouquet. Sorry. Silly me. Anyway, Oud Bouquet, very winter fragrance. For me, this is like, if it snows, I will think of Oud Bouquet. If it is not snowing, if it's not cold enough to snow, I'm gonna think not about Oud Bouquet. I think if I lived in Canada or Iceland or something, I could maybe wear through this, you know, over a course of a few years. But as it stands, living in Los Angeles, it's gonna be in my collection forever. You only need one spray. It's complex. It reminds me of like an enchanted cabin or cottage in a magical forest somewhere, but like a winter with a fire going. It's got kind of a smoky, incensey thing and rose. It's beautiful, but I really think it's too hot most of the time in Los Angeles for this fragrance. It's Oud Bouquet by Lancome. Solidly winter designer fragrance. And that does it. Thank you for staying tuned. I will do my other fragrances and like 2 more, probably break them up into 2 more videos, and I will see you then. So thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe and like this if you haven't, and I'll be back soon. Bye.